Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Paul. Today we're taking a look at the Wuben E1. Very interesting form factor light that is aimed more at supporting, I guess, content creation and easy carry. Now let's go ahead and jump into a size comparison. We have a 91mm and 58mm Simon knife. The thickness is rather on the thin side. And more flashlight relevant comparisons. Here we have the AAA and AA battery. Not quite a girth comparison, but we're close. And an 18650, because why not? Of course, it's during the recording time that my neighbor has decided to, I guess, angle grind everything in sight. So hopefully you can't really hear that. My apologies if you can. But pressing on into a design overview. This is effectively working on a hinge system. So we have this ring here, and this is intended to be used with magsafe products. Basically, this is meant to stick to the back of your phone to then use to support videos and pictures, that kind of thing. The light itself pivots out of this ring, so this would stick to your phone, and then this pivots out. Here we have a USB-C charging port at the bottom. This is uncovered, so just bear that in mind, with some general information on the back. We've got a 310 milliamp hour battery at 3.7 volts, and it'll charge at 5 volt input. On the front we can see our LEDs. This actually has two different color LED temperatures, and then we also have a charging indicator in the bottom. The UI for this guy is actually very interesting because it kind of resembles a watch crown. There is a little bit of slop in that, if you can see. And in terms of what you get with this guy, you do actually get quite a bit. So you get a charging cable A to C branded with the Wuben branding. You also get a surprisingly nice carry case. I actually didn't know it came with this when I bought it. And it's surprisingly nice. I didn't really expect this to be a thing, but yeah, you can tuck it away in what I'm guessing is a faux leather. Definitely a faux leather. But it has a very nice matte touch and lends itself to a more premium feeling, which unfortunately the light itself does not uphold entirely. But this is a nice little case, nice little bonus. And finally, we do have some attachment options. So this is intended to work with MagSafe. That is obviously an iPhone thing. However, if you don't have an iPhone, you can use MagSafe cases. I myself have a Pixel 8 Pro that I use a MagSafe case on, so I can use MagSafe accessories like magnetic power banks, MagSafe mount in my car. It's just very convenient, and it brings a great feature from Apple over Android. But if you don't have a MagSafe case, or you want to mount this somewhere other than your phone, then they offer these. This is an adhesive ring. You see you just got some 3M tape on the back. This is common when you buy a MagSafe accessory, particularly some third-party ones, so that you can stick this to your phone case, and then it just sticks right on. And then we have what is effectively just a bigger, softer version. The adherence is nowhere near as strong as the ring, but it's another option. I have to say the branding on these is, pretty obvious, which is its own thing. Let's go ahead and jump into the brightness and run times of the Wuben E1. Feel free to pause if you would rather read through. So we have a low mode of 2 lumens for 70 hours, a turbo of 300 lumens for 35 minutes, and for some reason a strobe of 300 lumens. It has a 1.5 meter drop resistance as well as an IP65 water and dust resistance rating. The body is made out of magnesium with a 38 gram total weight. In terms of the UI, and everything is based on this watch crown thing, which they're just calling a knob. Okay, they're just calling a knob. To turn on, it's a press and hold. Let me turn that down because that's all brightening. The brightness itself is done on a rotating basis, and if you press, you will step through the color temperatures. So as you can see, this has all of the LEDs on for more of a mixed temperature. Pressing once will shift to a colder temperature, and then a warmer LEDs, and then all of them. To adjust the brightness, you're just going to twist the crown. Although you can also double press quickly to get into turbo. And should you want to go into strobe for some reason, this is going to be a strobe warning, just double click. So that's there. And in order to lock out the light, it's just going to be a nice 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're locked out with just the battery indicator. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, light comes back on. Now, in terms of the pros for this guy, I have to say this is incredibly light, very low profile. And with this stuck to the back of my phone, particularly since I have a Pixel, it kind of has, the bump is more of a ledge, and this guy just kind of sits underneath the bump. You don't really notice it. It's a very low profile accessory. You can actually use it as a phone stand. So when it is stuck to the back of your phone, it actually works very well as a phone stand, which can also, if you're going to get this for content creation purposes, be it casual family memories or whatnot, or if you want to give Instagram, YouTube, that kind of thing a go, you can also use this as a little bit of an impromptu tripod, although of course you won't be able to use the lighting aspect at the same time. In terms of light quality, this is leagues above the overwhelming majority of flashes. You get obviously light coming from a much larger area. It's very diffused, very nice light overall. There is, I guess, a utility to this outside of pictures and videos. You can use this to navigate a dark room, get out a dark path. I actually used this on the back of my phone in the cinema the other day to make sure that I was taking everything with me when I left and to not trip over and make a fool of myself in a very, very dark room. In terms of whether or not this is a better option for using photography and whatnot, yeah, it's going to be better. Is it the best option? We'll come to that. But next up, into the cons of this guy. And first of all, I have to say, one of the most apparent cons immediately for me was a QA issue. And when it comes to reviewing devices, I always need to make it very clear that QA issues happen. You can get duds, you can get lemons, you can get imperfections, because that's just what happens when you manufacture anything at scale. The important part is that the QA process is there so that the average person isn't running into those problems frequently, and hopefully a warranty process is involved where you can get that resolved if there is anything of note. In terms of my particular issue, let's see if I can show this on camera. You can see that the application of the coating on this guy is just simply terrible. You know, I'm trying to get this to show on camera. It is much more noticeable in person, but it's kind of wrinkled all along here, all along the edge, more up top here. I have never had this kind of issue in a product before. It's bad, and honestly, when I first unboxed this guy, it gave me an immediately bad feeling. It would have been one thing if this was a provided review sample, but this is something that I had been looking forward to for a while and purchased with my own money on sale, and I gotta say, that is quite a kick in the teeth. It doesn't bother me enough in order for me to reach out and have it replaced or anything like that, because that is hassle that I don't deem worthy of doing, and it obviously has no functional impact, but I would be remiss if I didn't point that out. Next up, the control, this watch crown here. It screams that it's going to break off, I'm going to be honest. There is quite a bit of slop and slack in it. It doesn't give the most confidence in terms of it being, sturdily built. And let's just go over the brightness control real quick, because I feel like this should be quick, easy, smooth. But what you get is, if you want to rapidly change brightness, this is actually not going to register every single time. See, when you turn it, there is a click, a detent, and as you can see, the light is stepping with every single one of those turns. So ideally, if you were to rotate this quickly, you would just go through those quicker. But it is most definitely missing clicks. Instead of going up one every single time, instead you can quite easily get one or two for multiple rotations, and that's just not great in terms of a UI. You do have a quick to turbo, but you don't have a quick going down, and so that is something that's annoyed me quite a few times when I've been trying to get it into a lower brightness. This isn't something you typically have problem with on other flashlights where they have a moonlight mode, because you can step into moonlight mode and then up into lower brightnesses as needed. Finally, this is understandable. Completely get it. Kind of scummy. I do not want to turn the back of my phone, should I have needed to use these things, into a Wuben advertisement. I get why they did it. I'm not saying that other companies wouldn't do it. I think most companies would apply a little bit of branding to these kinds of things. This, obnoxious, no thank you. This is a little bit more discreet. Obviously, they have less space to work with. I don't mind easy carry light. That's fine. That is a Wuben saying, I guess. They use ECL instead of EDC. But the actual just URL to their website, really, this is not a great experience. Overall, would I recommend this guy? Maybe. If you like the look of this guy, you're interested in it, and you're okay with the price, I believe I paid around $18 on sale, I want to say, then yeah, you'll probably be happy with it. If you don't have anything on the back of your phone and you have, or you want to use MagSafe stuff, then this can be great. If you're already using something like a MagSafe wallet, this is obviously going to cause a little bit of a clash. If you're a content creator looking to up your game, this can certainly help, but this isn't going to be the best option for you. So, for example, here is one of my retired studio lights. You can pick these up for incredibly cheap. Not the Ulanzi brand, these are like 15 to 20. But you can get the identical form factor light for, the ones I'm using right now was £6 each on Temu. And this uses a cold shoe mount. It also does have a tripod thread. But this uses a cold shoe mount, and you can also get accessories which are effectively grips for your phone that will then allow you to, one, have a shutter button, and two, have a cold shoe mount, so that you can just mount an actual photography light onto your phone, which is obviously going to be much better than this little guy. So I would say just evaluate what you're going to use it for. This is obviously much lighter. It does also work as a stand. Overall, I'm quite happy with it. Again, this awful coating, little bad taste in my mouth. This stalk as a control option needs to be just better made. I don't have a problem with how this is done necessarily as an option, but the quality just needs to be way higher. Overall, I would strongly recommend you weigh this up. If you can get it for a cheaper price, like $18, then there's very little to go wrong in terms of regretting your purchase. There is also an accessory for this, which is, I do have it, I just don't have it to hand. It's sold separately. It is a clamp with a double-sided ring on it, so you can put your phone on one side, this on the other, and you can clamp your phone somewhere. You can buy those from other places. The one from Wuben is actually a decent quality. So if you're getting this, maybe consider that. And if you would like to check this guy out more, there will be links down in the description. But what do you think of the E1? Let me know in the comments down below. Is this something that interests you? Have you had any quality issues from Wuben previously? This is my first time. But again, it never feels good, even if it is understandable that it does happen sometimes. And while you're down there, please go ahead and give us a like and subscribe to the channel. We did it. We broke 2,000. Thank you, everybody, for that. And let's carry on pushing forward into the future. And if you would like to see more products, more weirdness like this guy on the channel, please consider direct support through Patreon, Coffee, or PayPal donations. But I've been Paul. This has been the E1. And I'll see you in the next video.